Hey, English learners! Welcome back to English Voice Podcast, the place where learning English feels simple, natural, and relaxed. I'm Alina.
And I'm Jax. We're really happy you're here with us today.
If you enjoy learning English with us, don't forget to follow or subscribe to English Voice Podcast and share it with someone who is learning English too. All right, let's jump into today's episode.
Elena, can I ask you something before we start?
Sure.
Do you remember a time when you learned something important, not in a classroom, not from a teacher, but just from life itself? From a conversation or a book you read by chance, or simply from paying attention to something that was right in front of you?
Oh, yes. I remember reading a small article on my phone while waiting for a bus, something I stumbled across completely by accident. It was about how trees communicate with each other through underground networks. And I remember sitting on that bus afterwards just thinking, I never knew that. I never even thought to ask that question. And yet now I know it, and it has changed the way I look at every forest I walk through. That is the feeling I associate most with real learning. Not a test, not a grade, just, I never knew that, and now I do.
I never knew that, and now I do. That feeling is one of the most quietly beautiful experiences a human being can have. And today's episode is about how to create that feeling on purpose. Not just once, not just by accident, but every single day.
Because today we are talking about something that might be the most important habit in any language learner's life, and honestly, in any thoughtful person's life. We are talking about how to educate yourself every day.
Not how to study, not how to sit at a desk with a textbook for hours, but how to make your everyday life, your commute, your lunch break, your walk, your quiet evening, into a gentle, continuous river of learning.
Today we have 3 ideas that will completely change the way you think about learning in daily life. And Jax, I think our listeners are really going to love the 3rd one.
The 3rd one is the one that stays with you, so please stay with us all the way to the end. Let's begin with idea number 1.
Idea number 1. Stop waiting for the right time to learn. Start treating curiosity as the only qualification you need. Because one of the most common things people say when they want to learn something is, I will get to it when I have more time, when things calm down, when I finish this project, when life gets a little simpler.
And life never gets simpler. The right time keeps moving just beyond reach. While we wait for it, days and months pass, and the learning we kept promising ourselves stays quietly waiting, never quite arriving.
But here's what I have come to believe. You do not need time to learn. You need curiosity. Because curiosity does not require a schedule. It does not require a desk or a classroom or a textbook. Curiosity is what happens when you look at something you walk past every day and suddenly wonder, why is that the way it is? What is the story behind this? How does this actually work?
I learned what serendipity really means while reading on a train. I discovered a whole field of science I had never heard of because I followed one question while cooking dinner. None of these were planned. They happened because I was paying attention.
Curiosity is a posture, a way of moving through the world with openness. The beautiful thing is, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't require resources or qualifications. It only requires the willingness to wonder.
So if you feel like you do not have enough time, reconsider the curiosity question. A genuinely curious person finds a way to learn in 15 minutes on a bus, in 5 minutes while the kettle boils. Curiosity makes every moment a possible classroom.
I want to share something personal. I made a quiet decision a few years ago. Every single day, I would let myself follow one curiosity to its answer. Just one. It did not have to be important. It did not have to be useful. It just had to be something I genuinely wanted to know. And some days it was something small. Why do we say the whole 9 yards? Some days it led somewhere deep and surprising. But every day it meant I went to sleep knowing something I had not known that morning. And that feeling, that small, quiet, daily accumulation, changed the texture of my life.
What a beautiful practice. One curiosity followed every day. 365 small knowings in a year, and over years, a quiet richness that no formal education could have built in quite the same way.
Okay, let's move to idea number 2, and this one is about something even more specific, the tools and habits that make everyday learning real and sustainable.
Idea number 2. The best education happens in the gaps, in the small in-between moments that most people scroll through without noticing. And learning to see those gaps and to fill them with something that feeds you is one of the most valuable skills a lifelong learner can develop.
Think about the gaps in your day, the time you spend waiting, commuting, walking, doing tasks with your hands but not your mind. These moments add up to more than most people realize, and most of us fill them automatically with scrolling, with distraction.
There is nothing wrong with rest and distraction. The brain needs both. But when the gaps become purely passive, when nothing is questioned or wondered about, something quietly closes down. The muscle of curiosity gets less exercise.
But when you see those gaps as opportunities, small windows that belong entirely to you, everything changes. A 10-minute commute becomes 10 minutes of a podcast that teaches you something. A quiet lunch alone becomes a chance to read one article about something you have always wondered.
And I want to say something important here. Feeding your mind in the gaps does not have to mean being productive or serious or disciplined all the time. It can mean reading about something that delights you, watching a short documentary about a place you've never been, listening to someone speak passionately about a subject you know nothing about. Learning does not only happen in serious, formal ways. Some of the most important things I have ever learned came from something that felt like pure entertainment at the time.
Podcasts, documentaries, books, essays, long reads, conversations with people who think differently from you, a walk through a part of your city you've never explored, a museum you keep meaning to visit, a language you keep meaning to learn. The world is extraordinarily rich with things to know and ways to know them, and every gap in your day is an invitation to reach toward one of them.
Reading, even a few pages at a time, is one of the most powerful daily habits. It builds the ability to follow a long thought, to stay with an idea as it develops. That quality of patient attention is increasingly rare, and it is extraordinarily valuable.
Even 10 pages a day adds up to over 3,000 pages in a year. That's 10 to 15 books built from what most people consider dead time. And the person who reads 10 books a year is simply different from the person who reads none.
And now, as promised, idea number 3, the one we've been building toward. Are you ready?
Tell them, Jax.
Idea number 3. The deepest education does not come from consuming information. It comes from what you do with it afterwards. From the moment you connect something you just learned to something you already knew. From the moment a new idea changes how you see an old one. From the moment understanding arrives. Not just knowing, but understanding.
Because there is a difference between knowing something and understanding it. You can know that trees communicate underground, but when you walk into a forest and feel what that means, that every tree around you is in conversation, that is understanding. And understanding changes you in a way that knowing does not.
And the bridge between knowing and understanding is reflection. Taking something you have learned and sitting with it, asking, what does this mean? How does this connect to something else I know? Does this challenge something I thought was true? This quiet practice is where the deepest learning happens.
This is why writing is such a powerful companion to learning. Not writing for an audience, just for yourself. A journal, a notebook, a daily sentence about something you noticed or wondered about. Because putting something into words forces you to understand it more clearly. Writing is thinking made visible.
I want to tell you about a listener who wrote to us. Her name is Amara, and she wrote from Nigeria. She said she had always wanted to learn more deeply but felt overwhelmed. She had a demanding job, a family, a full life, and the idea of adding studying on top of everything felt exhausting rather than inspiring.
That feeling, wanting to grow but feeling too full of life to add anything more, is one of the most common feelings there is. So many people live there.
And then she tried something tiny. Every morning, while she had her first cup of tea, she read one short piece of writing, an article, an essay, a single chapter of a book. And every evening, before sleeping, she wrote 3 sentences in a notebook. Not a summary, not a lesson, just what stayed with me today? What did I notice? What do I want to think more about?
1 reading, 3 sentences. Every day. Nothing more. And no one was grading her. No one was checking. It was entirely her own.
She wrote to us 4 months later and said, I feel like a different person. Not because I know so much more, but because I am living more attentively. I am noticing things I walked past before. I feel more alive inside my own days. It started with 1 cup of tea and 3 sentences before sleep. She said it felt like a small door had quietly opened.
That story gives me chills every single time.
So here is your permission. You do not need a course or a curriculum. You need curiosity and a few small, consistent habits. Follow 1 question every day. Fill the gaps with things that feed you. Reflect on what you learn. Write it down. Let it connect.
That is the whole education. Curiosity, attention, reflection. Every day in the life you already have.
Okay. Let's take a gentle pause now and do our word tour, a calm, quiet walk through some of the words and phrases from today.
Just a few, slowly, so they settle into you.
First word, curiosity, the desire to know and understand more, the starting point of all real learning. For example, her natural curiosity led her to ask questions no one else had thought to ask. Curiosity. Curiosity.
Next word, serendipity. Discovering something valuable by accident without looking for it. For example, it was pure serendipity that she found that book and it changed the direction of her life. Serendipity. Serendipity.
Next word, attentive. Paying close attention to what is around you. For example, she was deeply attentive in conversations, and people always felt genuinely heard. Attentive. Attentive.
Next word, reflection. Thinking carefully and deeply about something you have learned or experienced, where knowing becomes understanding. For example, he kept a journal not as a diary, but as a space for honest reflection. Reflection. Reflection.
Next word, accumulation. Gradually building up more and more over time. Small daily learning is powerful through accumulation. For example, 10 minutes of reading each day built a habit that transformed her year. Accumulation. Accumulation.
And our last word, posture. Not how you sit or stand, but an attitude you carry with you. Curiosity is a posture. For example, she had a posture of openness that made every conversation a chance to learn. Posture. Posture.
6 words today. Curiosity, serendipity, attentive, reflection, accumulation, and posture. Try to use one of them this week, even in your head, even in a sentence you write before you sleep, because a word you use is a word you keep.
And a word you only hear passes through you like wind, but a word you feel, a word you connect to a real moment in your life, that word becomes yours forever.
Okay, now it is your turn, and this is our favorite part of every episode.
Yes, because now the conversation belongs to you.
Here is your challenge. Think about tomorrow. Find one gap, one small window that usually disappears into scrolling. Fill it with something that feeds your curiosity. One article, one short video, one page of a book.
And then, before you sleep tomorrow night, write 3 sentences. What did I learn today? What surprised me? What do I want to think more about? Just 3 sentences, in any language, just for yourself.
For example, today I learned that octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood, which I never knew and now cannot stop thinking about. It surprised me because I had always imagined the ocean as simpler than it is. I want to read more about deep-sea creatures and what else lives down there that I have never imagined.
Or, today I noticed that I always take the same route to work without looking up. Tomorrow, I am going to look up. I want to know what I have been missing. I want to start paying more attention to the city I live in because I have been walking through it without really seeing it.
That second one gave me chills. Paying attention to the city you live in without really seeing it. How many of us are doing exactly that with our cities, our lives, the people around us? How much are we walking past?
So please write your 3 sentences in the comments tomorrow evening. What did you learn? What surprised you? What do you want to know more about? Make them honest. Make them real. Make them yours.
And know this, when you write your comment, you are not just practicing English, you are practicing the art of noticing your own life, of paying attention, of treating every ordinary day as worth reflecting on. And that is one of the most quietly profound things a person can do.
And your 3 sentences might be exactly what another learner needs to read today. Someone who wanted to grow but felt too full of life to add anything more. And then they read yours and think, oh, it can be that small and still mean that much.
One honest sentence gives permission to 100 quiet hearts.
Before we close today, thank you for listening all the way to this moment. That is not a small thing.
And to anyone who has felt like real education was something that happened to other people in better schools with more time, with more resources, I want to say clearly and warmly, it is not. Real education is something that happens to curious people. And you are here. You are listening. You are curious. That is already everything you need.
Curiosity, attention, reflection. 1 gap in your day, 3 sentences before sleep. That's the whole curriculum, and it belongs to you.
Language that keeps learning is language that stays alive, and so do the people who use it.
If this episode helped you even a little, please give it a like. Subscribe to English Voice Podcast and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Your support helps this little podcast reach more learners, and every new listener is one more person who feels a little less alone in this journey.
Until next time, take care of your English and take care of yourselves. This was English Voice Podcast. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jax. We will see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.